I think I'd be remiss to not talk about Bo Nickal's performance on the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series last night, where he scored a first-round triangle choke submission over CFFC middleweight champion in Donovan Beard, who holds a 7-1 professional record in mixed martial arts. Now, Nickal had his first fight on the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series and made quick work of the opponent, being able to take him down, take his back, and lock up a first-round rear naked choke. But Dana White wanted to see what else Bo Nickal had to offer. He wanted to see a little bit more. So he gave him a second opportunity, and this time against a middleweight champion in professional mixed martial arts. Now, we've talked about CFFC on the channel before because I've actually interviewed the now interim CFFC featherweight champion in Jose Perez. You can go out and check those interviews out on my podcast, which I'll probably post a link to those podcast episodes in this description. But Bo Nickal is a 3-time national wrestling champion, a 3-time NCAA wrestling champion, which is the highest level of wrestling accolade that you can get. But he's also the 2019 Hodge Trophy winner, which is the college equivalent to the football Heisman Trophy. It's the wrestling equivalent to the Heisman Trophy for football, basically. But having those wrestling accolades doesn't always equate to success in mixed martial arts. The closest example I can give you to Bo Nickal's story would probably be the former UFC heavyweight champion, former NCAA wrestling champion, and WWE megastar in The Beast, Brock Lesnar. Now, Lesnar came into the UFC after having, I believe, only one other fight in professional mixed martial arts, and made quick work and won the UFC Heavyweight Championship, I believe within his first year or year and a half with the promotion. He defended the title as well, and although you can't make a bunch of comparisons between Nickal and Lesnar, they both have similar accolades, and I think it would be unjust to not give Nickal the credit that he deserves. He trains out of American Top Team with Coach Mike Brown, with the likes of Dustin Poirier, Jorge Masvidal, Mateus Gamrot, Amanda Nunes, etc., etc. He trains with some of the best mixed martial artists on the planet at one of the best gyms and one of the, I guess you could say, key gyms in professional mixed martial arts success and success inside the UFC. Dana White also announced that he had added him and Raul Rosas Jr., who just competed last week on the Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series and was the youngest ever signee to the promotion at 17 years old after his victory over Mondo Gutierrez. Now, Raul Rosas Jr. and Bo Nickal will be added to the EA Sports UFC 4 game in the foreseeable future. And I find that unheard of. To have a guy who's never competed in the UFC be added to the game just shows you the level that Dana White and the UFC brass believe that Nickal can get to in the future. Now, is Bo Nickal a future UFC champion? It's definitely a possibility, but I think we have to see him compete under the promotion against some ranked high-level competition before we can really make those assumptions. But the future is bright. If you go and look at his fight on the Contender Series that just happened last night, he moved very well laterally, used some level change feints to set up an overhand that connected on the chin of Donovan Beard. But it wasn't only the fact that the overhand connected, it was the fact that as the overhand connected, he used it to get a form of an, I guess you could say, outside trip, but it wasn't really an outside trip. He connected with the overhand and used it to transition into a takedown attempt. Then locked up a guillotine choke as Donovan Beard tried to turn into him and change position and get to the top position. He locked up a mounted guillotine choke, and then the most impressive part of the victory was the fact that he could lock up a triangle choke from the mount, transitioning the grip to the back of the head of Donovan Beard and switching to the triangle seamlessly without even using his hands to hold the shin as he placed the back of the knee over the shin of the other leg. It was a very quick and beautifully set up submission, I could say, for Nickal, and he even turned the corner to lock under the leg when originally he had the lock over the back of the knee. But he switched it up, changed the lock, and that was it. Under a minute, 2-0 on the Contender Series, and now the owner of a brand new UFC contract. Like I said, what does the future hold for Bo Nickal? We don't really know. But being a 3-time national wrestling champion, a 3-time NCAA champion, I should say, the future is bright. And we could be looking at Bo Nickal being a future UFC middleweight champion. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit a lateral drop on the like button and lock up a mounted guillotine on the subscribe button. I'm your host Double M, and I'm out.